an issue before the court that actually has the conservative and the liberal justices given the side eye. It's a heartbreaking case. Check out this headline from Forbes. That's right, 94-year-old grandmother fights back after government sold her home and kept the profit. Yeah, you read that right. The Washington Post has the deets. So in Hennepin County, which contains Minneapolis, foreclosed on Geraldine Tyler's one-bedroom condo after she moved into an apartment building for the elderly and stopped paying property taxes for 5 years. The move was good for her peace of mind, but not for her pocketbook. She couldn't keep up with the bills for both places, and by 2015 had accrued $2,311 in unpaid property taxes on the condo, plus interest, costs, and penalties. Here's a photo of the 94-year-old Geraldine Tyler, who probably had to move out of her home and into a condo because of accessibility issues and the fact that this is what happens when you get older. But what shouldn't happen is the system selling your home and keeping the profit. She owed about $15,000 in taxes and penalties. The county sold her condo for $40,000 and kept the surplus, as the law allows in Minnesota, the District of Columbia, and about a dozen other states. So now the Supreme Court is determining whether the county keeping the profit from the sale violates a constitutional ban on the government taking private property without fair compensation. Just like how they can't just roll up and take your home and then not compensate you fairly for it. Well, a Washington lawyer who happens to be representing Hennepin County, name is Neil Katyal. Well, he was grilled. That's right, grilled by the justices. Justice Elena Kagan asked the question many of us are thinking. Are there any limits to this? I mean, $5,000 tax debt, $5 million house. Take the house, don't get back the rest. Come on, how is this anything different as far as I'm concerned than when you have property that is confiscated by police and never given back? Yeah, well, Pacific Legal Foundation lawyer Christina Martin responded to the court's question with Pacific Legal. Christina Martin said the bigger picture here was whether there is a limit on how much the government could keep. And the answer is there is none. So again, if you have maybe a $20 million home and a $5,000 tax, the government could sell it and keep all the money? Come on now. At the end of the argument, both justices, conservative and liberal, seem to be very focused on the fact that this is not okay. Dan, do you think this is okay?
Yes, no. It'd be so funny. I do love having like off the beaten path takes to make like a larger point, but no, this is one rare time where I'm against private corporations and major banks doing shady deals and reverse like mortgages to, those like things that happened in 2008, right? I'm against when shady private institutions do things to take people's houses that are way beyond what they need to do. I'm of course against when the government does it as well. There's absolutely no reason for the government to go, oh, we made a profit on this, even though this is just someone in the working class who's like retired, even 90 years old, right? There's no need for the government to take all this money and then not provide any sort of services for this person. It's ridiculous that we live in a society that allows this on the public or private level. So at least we're handling on the public level.
Yeah, and the thought is also too, we have to realize this woman is from an extremely marginalized community. She's 94 years old, she's also Black. You saw her there pictured in a wheelchair. This individual doesn't have the access and means necessarily to address all of the issues that may come in terms of taxation or whatnot. And our nation, our states, they do not put in truly the work to take care of their people. So if there isn't some kind of checks and balances at the court and the judicial level to check this almost capitalistic state-like approach to its people, then what's to stop them? This is insanely wrong. And I also think that this is something that could befall both demographics, whether it's Republican or it's Democrat. And I think that that's also what the court recognizes, that as a matter of justice and fairness, we need to cap the state's ability to take all of the profits from the sale of a property where maybe you fell back on the taxes.